it's good to be back. We've had a first good weekend of practice, good preseason, summer training program, integrating the new players, the freshmen into what we do, and we've had a solid month of September leading into practice, and got a lot done the first weekend. Physically it was pretty taxing on the guys, so they're crying a little bit. Their bodies are hurting, but nothing in terms of injury. That's the first thing that I always hope to avoid with the shock to the bodies that's going on in terms of the length of our practices. Initially, it's like a training camp mentality, an NBA mentality to how the first weekend is, and the guys have survived that opening weekend, and we're going later today, and so it's good that we're getting started. We have a few weeks to our first game, so it's an exciting time, and I'll just answer any questions you might have.
Are you able to jump more into things this year versus last year? What does that feel like?
We're experimenting with a few things right now in terms of how our roster is built. And I do have guys that I've coached now for a year, and then other guys that were sitting out in the program. So to have those guys, have the knowledge and the expectations of what I'm looking for, and to be able to execute that, is helpful. So, having the Trey Holders, Cody Justice, Shannon Evans, guys like that with the experience they have, I think has been great for the younger players too.
You've added some height on your roster with the new recruiting class. Do you think that's going to change the way you guys play this year?
With Romello White, being an academic redshirt, it does change some of the direction of how we'll play this year. We're not as deep as what I anticipated on the front line, so we're doing some things that I might not have done in the past defensively to compensate for that, to prepare us for that. But on the flip side, we're excited about the young guys. It depends how quickly they come along. Jethro Tashumpa is a big body. He's I haven't coached someone with his raw athletic tools. 6'9", 260, powerful, athletic. 4% body fat. I mean, the guy is a physical specimen. He's got a lot to learn and pick up along the way, so I'm excited to see how he develops over time. But I think that we're going to be led by our perimeter. I wouldn't trade our perimeter really with anyone in the country. I think it's experienced, it's productive in the past, it's produced, it's proven, and then we've added some high-level freshmen like Sam Cunliffe to that mix. So I feel great about that.
Is this a type of roster that lends itself to playing more open post and trying to push tempo?
Just based on what I've been seeing, and it is still early, I think that Obi would be, Oleka would be a guy that we would have confidence throwing the ball inside to some. But I think the main way that we're going to get to the rim with this group is going to be attacking off the dribble with our guards. I think that they're going to pose some problems for defenses because of their ability, their quickness, their creativity off the bounce to get to the rim. And I think we have a chance to be, an outstanding three-point shooting team too. With Cody, Cody looks fantastic. Had a great day yesterday, really stroking the ball well. Shannon Evans, same deal. Sam brings that dimension. Cunliffe. And then Torian Graham has had a great preseason. He's a guy that was a top 50 player in high school at one point, and hasn't had a chance to play at this level, but has shown us a lot in the preseason.
What do you see? Last week being your first year coaching the Pac-12, what's the biggest takeaway you took from last year that you can implement this season?
Just the size and the talent base in the league, and realizing that we just have to keep getting it done year in and year out recruiting. We have to, you could see the level of talent across the board, producing NBA talent, and so we have to, we have to think about that every year. We got to make sure we're targeting guys, that have a chance to be pros, because it's hard to win in this conference if you don't have those type of guys. That being said, I think a lot of people focus on the McDonald's All-Americans and that's how they might try and project where a team might finish in a league based on how many McDonald's All-Americans they have. But I feel pretty good about our roster, right? Coming into this year, I think Shannon Evans is the equivalent of a McDonald's All-American based on where his game is at and what he's going to do this year.
What do you see as the next step for Trey this season?
I just see the fire in Trey, which is great. When I first got here with Trey, you see all his skills and his ability to get to the rim and play in pick and roll offense. I just think his competitive drive has improved. His leadership has improved. When his team doesn't win a segment, you see the frustration. Which he was very quiet at times when I coached him. I think he's just he's starting to be more vocal and lead our team more. He and Shannon go head to head every day, which is great for both of them. And I think once we turn those two guys loose together, that they got a chance to do something special.
What exactly does Shannon bring on the court? I know he helped Trey a lot last year in practice and he was in the system, but what will he bring from a leadership standpoint and on the court?
Shannon is as gifted as any player in our conference, I think, coming into this year on the perimeter. So when you see that guy work every day and you see him make plays, whether it's hitting the deep threes, getting in the lane, finding teammates, playing the defensive end at a high level, guarding the ball, and the guy doesn't get tired. He could just run all day. I mean, we did our team mile. He was 4:59 in the mile, which is the top time that I've ever been around in my coaching. So, he does everything. And then just the intangibles, the electricity that you'll see him play with, I think his teammates will feed off his positive energy. Our fans will enjoy that too.
What do you think is important for ASU to participate in a program that integrates ASU American athletics and Chinese athletics?
I've really embraced the program, and I get excited when I see the delegation, in our facility, because I think, as a coach, you want to share and you want to learn. Yesterday we had the Utah Jazz in our practice facility, practicing leading into their game tonight versus the Suns, and I watched practice and I learned. I picked up a few things, and we want to share. We want to be able to show how our training techniques and see if they can improve them working with their athletes. Also, I mean, there are 25 to 30 coaches at our practices, so our players get the feel of having people watching them, which I think adds something to our practices.
Have there been any challenges working with their coaches?
No, they've been super supportive. They at times during the practices you couldn't even tell that they were in the building. Very respectful. I didn't think we had a great practice yesterday. I wasn't completely thrilled with the practice, and so we were back this morning at 6:30 to try and figure a few things out. But they applauded our team after the practice, which I thought was very special that they did that. And I wasn't sure that our guys and our coaches deserved it yesterday, but it was nice that they did that.
What have you seen from Sam Cunliffe? How has he acclimated in the first week? And has there been anything that's maybe surprised you?
Yeah, Sam has he's ready, college ready body, athleticism, the work ethic is there. He wants to be great. It's going to take some time. It's always a learning curve with freshmen adjusting to this level, the competition, and he's out there with other guys that are really good players. So I think it's going to make him better. But I know that he brings something different to our team just with his ability to get to the rim. He's one of the better mid-range shooters that you'll see, just getting to his spots, and he's 6'7", and he could elevate on his jump shot, so he's going to be able to get to his spot, shoot over people. His passing has been a pleasant surprise, something that he's that I didn't notice maybe exactly coming in to this year that he would be as good at finding people. And I think that's been the one thing that I've loved is our guys are sharing the ball very well, playing unselfishly. Cody is doing that, Shannon, Trey, and now maybe Sam is seeing that, and he's fallen into line with doing those things.
How's Andre doing physically? Do you think he can be contributing more this year?
We're trying to be very conservative with Andre, and we need Andre to keep plugging along with his rehabilitation. He's making strides. He's just been cleared to do some full court live work, which for the first time this year for him. So he's progressed to that point, which is a big plus. And we're still controlling his reps and make sure that he's not overdoing it, just to give him the best chance to be successful. We're mindful that he's 2 years without playing, so we're going to be conservative, especially knowing that we need him to get healthy and to help us this year.
Correct. Last season you were extra fiery on the sidelines. A lot of times you fired at the team. Did you ever look back on it and think maybe you should have toned it down a little bit, or are we going to see the same fire?
I just, I'm really laid back now, if that helps at all, but I guess not. My second year at Buffalo, my first year at Buffalo, I had 7 technicals. My second year, I had 4. I think that was, I came from the East, I went to the Midwest. I didn't know a lot of the officials. There's always a transition of learning people, and I'm figuring out which guys now, what I should do, what I should say, what I can't say. So there's a learning curve there for me. I'm always going to be passionate about it and fiery. That's just my personality. But I do feel if the guys are playing at the level we're capable of playing and we're playing well, that I'm not going to have to engage as much with the officials. And maybe that's why my second year at Buffalo, the technicals also went down, because we were playing good basketball and winning.
You have a pretty brutal non-conference schedule. Does that change the sense of urgency or just how you approach games?
Well, we know that a lot depends on what we do in that non-conference. It impacts what position you're in terms of postseason. So we're giving ourselves games that are target games that if we could be very competitive and win, that would put ourselves in good position for postseason. And the NCAA tournament committee wants to see teams that are willing to push themselves with their non-conference, and we want to recruit guys that want to play in those games. So we're going to keep playing our non-conference the way we did it. I think last year, I couldn't have asked to be in any better position going into league play. I think if we had an even average Pac-12 last year, we would have been an NCAA tournament team based on how we did in the non-conference.
Has the team set a cumulative goal for where you guys want to finish this season?
I mean, it's premature right now to really judge that, and I mean, it would be premature even as the season's beginning. We have to get a feel for what else is out there right now, test the waters a little bit. But do like our talent level quite a bit. We have to embrace doing some things that to compensate again for not having an ideal number of big players and the size. We're going to have to rebound collectively and focus more on the defensive end to be gritty and scrappy the way we need to be because I think we could be an elite offensive team if we could get some things done at the other end of the floor. We didn't do that this past year, and it was frustrating because I have a very, very strong defensive background in my life, in my basketball life, and our team didn't live up to that last year, especially in the Pac-12. So, that's something that we're addressing right now and focusing on in our practices.
To that point, is that elevated by getting Shannon and your on-ball capability?
Yeah, I think he's he's got a lot of pride at that end. He's an elite athlete, and he could. He could definitely guard the ball. So that's going to, I think, free Trey up some to not have to be that guy. I felt Trey got a little bit worn down late in the year. had great production early in the Pac-12 and just had maybe too much responsibility, and he's not going to have to carry that kind of load this year, which I think will help him.
Was Sharon having to sit out last season? Have you seen any personal growth within him?
I just think it's like a volcano that's building up for him. I mean, that guy's got like so much passion and energy, and it was all bottled up last year. I mean, he did it in the practice floor. He helped Trey get ready to play, just by how good he was on the practice court. But this kid wants to play so bad. It's, I think I'm going to have to calm him down, the first few games especially, because he's going to be so amped to play.
When addressing your lack of depth, how important is it to have guys like Cody and Sam and Obi who can play more?
Yeah, it's a great point. I think there could be scenarios that our lineups are going to be different, and we're going to experiment with those as we go through the preseason. And Obi's very comfortable away from the basket with the ball, and obviously he's proven he could shoot the three and put it on the floor. So, he could, and he's willing to go in there and battle. And we're continuing to talk to him about being willing to do that. Sam has the size and the body and the bounce to go in there and rebound. And so we have some guys that, we could play multi-positions and interchangeable lineups. And, we could put a lot of offense on the court at one time where, I think we could put some stress on defenses making decisions on who they're going to guard.